Have you ever wondered what truly makes a rule a law? Is it simply because it was passed by a governing body, or does it need something more fundamental, something inherently good or just, to command our obedience? In the realm of legal theory, the prevailing answer is no. Moral content is not strictly necessary for a law's legal validity. This perspective is most clearly articulated by legal positivism, which argues that the validity of a law stems from its source and enactment process, rather than from its ethical merit. Legal positivists, such as John Austin and H.L.A. Hart, contend that a law is valid if it has been created by the proper authority and through the correct procedures, regardless of whether we perceive it as morally right or wrong. For them, law is a social construct, a set of rules recognized and enforced by a sovereign power. This view distinguishes law as it is from law as it ought to be. It suggests that while moral considerations often influence lawmaking, they are not a prerequisite for a law's existence or binding nature. The purpose here is to provide a clear, objective framework for identifying what counts as law, separating it from personal moral judgments or divine commands. Understanding this distinction helps us analyze legal systems with greater clarity. It allows us to acknowledge the existence of a law, even if we find it unjust, and then engage in separate ethical debates about whether such a law should be obeyed or reformed. This approach provides a practical foundation for legal systems, allowing societies to establish and maintain order based on agreed-upon procedures for rulemaking, rather than constant philosophical debate over inherent justice. This core idea is often called the separability thesis, which asserts that there is no necessary connection between law and morality. Legal validity is determined by a pedigree test or a source test, meaning we look at how a law came into being, not its inherent goodness. For instance, a traffic law prohibiting speeding is valid because it was enacted by the legislature, not because speeding is inherently immoral, though it might have moral consequences. This allows for a more robust and predictable legal system. By understanding that legal validity rests on formal criteria rather than moral content, we can better appreciate the structure of legal systems. This distinction empowers us to critically evaluate laws both for their formal legitimacy and their ethical implications, fostering a more nuanced engagement with the legal and moral landscape of our societies.